going on, guys? Just wanted to take a few minutes while I prepare my breakfast to kind of talk to you about my fitness in general, where I was, where I've been, and where I'm going. So I really had no interest in fitness growing up. I had an active lifestyle, but other than that, we didn't do any sports really. Brother was a musician, and I was more of a did some computer stuff, a little bit of retro gaming, Nintendo. That was pretty much it. So I didn't really get into fitness, I'd say, until really late into life, in my 20s. I just got into that lifestyle where eat, drink, and repeat. So I go out to eat like all the time, fast food, and of course, coming from a Hispanic family, we can eat some food, really fatty, caloric food too. So we're talking flour tortillas, beef with potatoes, fried chicken. My mom would love to make fried chicken with jalapeno, mashed potatoes. Just all that kind of stuff. Just all carbs and fats. Wonderfully, sinfully good food all the time. And of course, around the holidays, just forget about it. So, I think what really kickstart the fitness, it's not going to be what you think it is. So, most people are going to say, "Oh, my wife or my kids really inspired me to get into shape and all that," which they did. There was inspiration and motivation there, but I have to give the credit where it's due, and that is to Coach or Professor Bruce Zarowski at Tomball College. He really got me motivated and interested in fitness. He's a great guy. Suggest you take his course if you have to, or if you can, at Tomball College. He's still there. I still talk with him. And he's just all around really motivational, really great guy. And he tries to tell people, to convince them that fitness is just something that you live, and diet and nutrition. So if you go into it just wanting to achieve a short-term goal, you're not really doing yourself any good. You're doing yourself a disservice, if anything, if all you're interested in doing is, shedding some weight, dropping some pounds for whatever, and then you just go back and do exactly what you were doing beforehand. So, when I started taking his class, I was about 215 pounds, and I probably got fatter and ate worse right after I got married than I ever had in my entire life, even when I was with my mom and dad, because I was pretty much felt that I was, like an entitled pig. I could do whatever I want now because I'm married and I'm out on my own. Both me and my wife lived with our parents before we got married, so I hadn't lived on my own yet. So I basically was just eating whatever the heck I wanted, which was even worse than before. Hard to imagine, but yeah. So I would eat, for breakfast, it'd be bacon, sausage, pancakes, syrup, butter. Lunch would be sandwiches, cold cuts. I love my sandwiches and potato chips. I just go to town on that. I get white bread, slap 2 slices of cheese in there, a whole bunch of freaking processed lunch meat, and a big ass bag of potato chips, and I just go to town. Dinner, my wife came from a very traditional family, so she was kind of raised to, have the food ready when, Dad gets home from work, that whole kind of bullshit from the 60s. A lot of people do that nowadays, no offense, but, it was really a patriarchal type of society, and her mindset that she was raised in. She doesn't do this anymore, of course, but, to have dinner ready, take home, stay at home, clean the house, that kind of thing. So that really didn't do us any good either. So I was even bigger after I got married, and I would eat out fast food all the time. I would go out and drink, and I would just pig out. I would go out with a buddy of mine, and we would just drink ourselves silly. We would pre-game, so we'd have like Keystone and Budweiser. We'd go through a 12-pack, and then we'd hit up a bar. And afterwards, the aftermath, I'd stop at like 2 or 3 fast food places. If I didn't buy food at the bar food on top of that. So it was just, I was out of control. It was just a cycle of abuse to my body. And I felt it because I was always tired. I was overweight, I was fat, I wasn't doing anything really with my life. I wouldn't say I was like in a bad place, because I wasn't like, really depressed or anything. I had just given up. I was just like, well, I guess I'm going to be fat for, my whole life. I was born this way, there's nothing I can do, that kind of mentality. So thankfully Coach Zarowski really kind of kick-started me, gave me a good kick in the head, to where I really started to make some changes. And it wasn't an overnight thing, and it wasn't I was heading in the right direction, but I really didn't have a plan, I would say. I know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to be, but my exercise and nutrition, it's just, there's so much to learn. You think it's easy, and it is, but it's really not. So after I finished his class, Fitness for Life, I want to say I went from 215 down to about 188, is where I went. And most of that weight was just excess weight that I lost automatically from making some very simple decisions, which were, I was working out, so I started doing P90, not P90X, but P90, the original Power 90 as well, just a very simple, nowhere near high intensity as P90X, so just a simple workout video routine I would do. And then I cut out a lot of the junk food at the house. Now I would still eat out, I'd still eat, I would still go out and drink, get pissed drunk, I'd still eat, binge eat when I would do that. That kind of settled down as well. The frequency of doing that wasn't as high. And also at home, we both agreed, me and my wife, to really cut back on a lot of the bad foods that we were bringing into the house. So I cut out a lot of things, full stop. So there was really no soda in the house. I stopped drinking milk. I went to almond milk. The bread, cut down on the bread. I mean, I shit you not, I would eat like 4 to 6 slices of bread a day. So I went from that to no bread. And I was just trying all kinds of things. I really didn't have a plan. Sometimes we'd buy organic, and sometimes we would just, buy regular food. So we were kind of all over the place at the time. And my diet plan, and this is probably where I lost the most amount of time, was with my diet. I decided for some reason to just cut out fat. So I figured, oh, I'm fat, I need to cut out fat, which is, just complete nonsense because you can lose a ton of weight doing ketogenic diet, which I did do later on, and you're basically eating nothing but fat. But at any rate, I stopped eating a lot of fats, and I was able to achieve, like I said, about 188, 185 around in there. So I was basically just dropping a lot of excess weight. I loved his class so much that I took it again. And the second time around, I learned a little bit more. So, you know, I started to concentrate more with the exercises that I was doing. So I spent a whole lot of time learning about what exercises to do, different programs, learning about sets, resistant, different muscles, you know, cardio versus weight training and all that. So I was getting a lot better as far as my workouts were concerned. And then pretty much for the next year, I was kind of in a lull. I dropped some weight. I was pleased, and I pretty much kind of stopped. And then, you know, I started to gain the weight back because I was starting to go out and eat again. I would drink, go back to drinking. So I was slowly starting to go back up to 190, and it really wasn't until 2017, so the previous year, where I really went into, I would say, phase 2, which was I was spending a lot more time on diet and nutrition, because I really wanted to lose more weight and cut down. So I started off on a ketogenic diet in the fall of 2017 when I was taking my fall semester. So I had a really good routine, and what I would do is I would go to my class, and afterwards I would go to the gym at the campus. So I would spend about an hour using all of the weight machines in the gym. I would do a circuit, and I would do a circuit like 2 or 3 times, depending on if I had to work or not. And then I started doing some cardio too, so I would use the racquetball court and do some cardio. And my diet, I was maintaining a very high-fat, low-carb diet, ketogenic diet. So I would meal prep and I would do hamburgers. I would grill a whole bunch of hamburgers, put one burger patty with a slice of cheese or 2 in a meal prep container with a couple big leaves of romaine lettuce. And then I would have a protein shake after my workout or after I got home from work. I would have pork rinds, since they are no carb. I got some up here actually, I got some yesterday. I'm not doing keto anymore, I'm doing low carb, I'm not doing keto. There is a difference. Keto is like 10 grams, 20 grams or less. You're doing like practically no carbs. Low carb is more, like for example here I have some leafy greens, I'll have some peanut butter today, I'll have a banana for a snack, so I will do that. But at any rate, I was doing keto, and I did really good for the fall semester. So I went from about 188 pounds, 185, and I dropped down another 10 pounds. So I was down to 175. And I went from about a 40 waist in phase 1 down to 38 phase 2, and now I was about 36 as what pant size I was at, 36 to 34. So, and then I'd say right about around Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving, I actually ate pretty good for Thanksgiving, but afterwards, I started to slip back in. I was eating bad. Now, I pretty much had stopped drinking in the spring of 2017. I would drink very rarely, on very rare occasions. I mean, it was usually when friends were in town, or a special occasion, a party, or something like that, a birthday party, or a holiday. And I would, I'd take a drink. But I wouldn't binge eat. The binge eating was pretty much over with. I really was not doing that anymore. So, after Thanksgiving, I started to kind of slip back into those habits. I was eating bad. My wife cooks amazing sweets and treats for Christmas, mainly for the kids, so that they work on, making cookies and things like that. They love that. So, of course I'm going to grab a cookie here and there, and it turned out to be, a lot more than I should have. So I started to almost kind of reverse that progress. But I had still made a good headways in my metabolism. So I was able to burn off a lot of that food. I didn't really get too fat. I really didn't gain much weight back. So now, in 2018, I entered the Beat PJ contest through supplement company Blackstone Labs, and the contest ran for about 3 months. Who could ever do the most transformation was the contest. Now, I dieted really hard for January, and then I fell off. I'd say mid-March, right around Valentine's Day, actually. And that was just me dieting way too hard, too fast, and not really having a plan to go into it. So I was down to about 172, 173, and I was also exercising a lot every day. I was basically dieting and working out every day, 7 days a week, and I was doing like P90X. I was running. I was doing a weight routine. I was doing like 200 push. It was crazy. I was doing a lot. And of course, in the whole meantime, I'm working a full-time job, going to school, and I'm trying to be a decent husband and father. So doing that, and I fell off around Valentine's Day, and then I kind of just pissed my way through. I really wasn't doing good until about March, spring break. And right after spring break was when the Sunday, right after spring break was over, that Monday, I want to say, that Sunday and Monday, I was in it. And so 4 weeks in, and that's where I'm at right now. Since spring break, I have been meal prepping, been eating clean, not overdoing the workouts, just doing a lot, keeping the intensity high, doing HIIT cardio, and doing weight routine, but also having food that's tasteful and satisfying and filling. So, and that's another big thing. You got to use, some spice. You got to use some hot sauce. You can't just eat bland food. You got to throw in the spices. Otherwise, you're just going to you're going to starve yourself, and you're going to do what I did, which was, after I fell off, I had a cheat day where I ate at 5 different fast food places right after I fell off. It was insane. I went to, I remember I got off work and I went to Whataburger, and I had like a double avocado burger or something. I think it was an A1 thick and hearty. Then I went to Jack in the Box and I bought a munchie meal, and I ate that whole thing. Then the next day I bought a pizza from Little Caesars, and I ate the entire thing. Then I went to work. then after I got off work, I went to Jack in the Box. Oh no, I went to Taco Bell during my lunch break and I bought like a $5 big box deal thing. Slammed that. After I got off work, I went to Jack in the Box one more time and I bought an Oreo shake, and I think I bought a Munchie meal too. So it was just insane. I had like over, I think it was like between 10,000 and 15,000 calories within 24 hours. So it was crazy. And I spent like 35, 40 bucks on fast food. So it was ridiculous. But at any rate, that shit's over with. Not planning on doing that again. And I'm deep in it now, so I'm been very committed. Like I said, I'm 4 weeks in, and the contest ends on April 15th, and I've already noticed a lot of results. So my weight this morning I broke down into 169. So I'm still cutting, and this is the thing you got to remember is that I'm in the cutting phase right now. So I'm going to look like I'm going to be emaciated. I'm going to be really thin when I'm done dieting because I'm cutting. I'm cutting all the body fat off of my body is the goal of the first phase. So I'm probably going to get down to like 150, 140. Which is I've never been that thin. Like 169, I don't even remember when I was this. It probably was in high school, beginning of high school or middle school, where I was this weight. So I'm going to keep cutting, and once I get all my fat cut away, I'm going to go into my bulking phase. So that's where I'm going to be taking in a lot of protein, a lot more calories, and bulking back up with muscle because my metabolism is going to be reset, and I'm going to be burning this everything that I put into my body my body's going to be a fat burning, calorie burning machine. So I got to up all that and just start building muscle and bulking back up to I don't even know what my bulk weight should be. So I'm just going to say it's going to be at where I'm at right now. And I'm only 4 weeks in on the diet, so I mean I got to go at least several months before I get the results that I want. But my waist is 34, and my weight is about 169 at the moment. So I'm going to continue to cut. I'm going to keep going. I have no intention of stopping. I'm really focused in on this, and a lot of people are like, oh, you're looking really good. Just don't, don't overdo it. Don't get too thin. And well, I have to get thin. I have to get thinner. I have to lose more weight before I can bulk back up. And that's what people, I guess they don't understand that. But once I'm there and I begin to bulk back up, I'm going to look a lot better. So, bear with me. This is a long process. Been on this journey for the past, I want to say 2 or 3 years, trying to get to this goal, stumbling several times, but I really have a drive to get this done, to achieve this goal. And I appreciate everyone's support and your comments. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel when you get a chance. I'm going to try to continue to upload more videos so that you can see the progress, and hopefully maybe you get inspired to do something. And it doesn't have to be my goal. It doesn't have to be getting abs or getting cut or getting shredded. It just could be like hey, I'm going to try to eat better, or I'm going to stop drinking so much, or I'm going to try to do some type of exercise. Maybe something that I used to do when I was younger that I don't do anymore. So whatever it is, I hope that these videos will kind of help you, inspire you to achieve those goals. So, stay tuned, and look forward to seeing you in the next update.